Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. We are back again with another interesting conversation about this gentleman who you've come to know, where he started his life, how he's gone through his entrepreneurship journey, and what really grounds him. And from what we are picking, he has a purpose in his life. He looks forward to growing. He looks forward to contributing to the communities that he engages in. He also looks forward to excelling. He's a man who loves excellence, and he really knows what transformational leadership is about. And he tends to talk about things in terms of an art, a science, and all these terms that can be used to explain different aspects of life and how someone would get to understand their why. I welcome you yet again. I'm your host for this particular bit. My name is Sheila Mwanje, and the gentleman here, Joseph Marende Otwoko, will be telling us how exactly do you know your purpose and how does it shape how you grow into delivering that purpose.
Wow. I grew through a season. Thank you for the opportunity once more. I grew through a season live in high school. Then there's a book by Eric Warren. It's called Purpose Driven Life. And since then, there's been this question. And the more I think about it, the more I realize, okay, wow, it's an interesting. I have written a book, Art of Becoming, and I've stated clearly that it is an intricate, of living your purpose. I think my perspective is that you realize your purpose in life probably from the end, not from the beginning. And why I'm saying this is because if you meet a tree, let's say a mango tree, in its journey, if you ask its purpose, probably it may say making firewood, it may say giving a shed. But eventually, you see how it was designed is designed to produce fruits. Okay? And so for me, looking at life of the people that I've researched on, that I've studied on, I realized that purpose is not really sometimes something you know from the beginning. It's something you grow into by focusing to maximize and harnessing the season and having a clear vision of where you're going. Because vision you can set, okay?
Yeah.
But purpose is what you realize later, okay? As I go back to my story, I didn't think I could have envisioned being in construction industry, okay? And where the outcome of the construction industry is to having to build people's houses. What I've realized in my purpose in construction industry is to uplift the life of others. And so, whether it's through construction, whether it's through engagement, whether it's through sponsorship, whether it's through mentorship, that's the reason I'm here, because everybody can build. But what is it uniquely that I can do? And so, by focusing in every season, asking myself, what is expected of me here beyond the normal call of duty? Then, collectively, by implementing A, B, C, D, you realize there is a certain thread. And this thread becomes a common thing, which now I call it now your purpose. But I think I don't want you to get an impression that you can't do anything until you go to your purpose. No. Okay? Because the design of purpose is God. But it gives you opportunities, challenges, responsibilities along the way to bring this out. So it's Him who is able to establish your purpose. So your goal is to ask yourself in every phase, what am I here to do? And that's why it said, probably this way I was in construction for the years I've been. is for that young man whom now we are sponsoring as a company. That God provided all these tribulations, all these challenges that I went through, so that I can actually serve that particular young man. And it has become one of the greatest success that makes us so happy. We may not be as profitable as we desire, but we see this impact. Because investing in such a young man, I can assure you, that's a destiny changing, a generation transformation. That's how I view purpose.
Yes. Wow. Purpose is in itself is grown.
Yes.
You do not just wake up and say, now this is my purpose. It is through experiences, through various seasons of your life. Yes. A very interesting perspective to look at purpose, because some of us tend to sit down and say, now my purpose is to ensure I make 1 million, when really they are not really experiences or seasons that are pushing you to make such a decision. And you have just mentioned a book that you're writing, Art of Becoming. Why did you feel it's important to call it an art as opposed to a science or a vision towards, why not science of becoming, but art of becoming?
Science of becoming will have mean that these are fundamentals, principles that are theoretically tested. Okay?
Yeah.
And it means that it's like if you say the law of gravity.
Yeah.
There's a science behind that. Okay? But when I talk of an art, it means that an art is contextualized. Okay?
Yeah.
What you value is rather the person value. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you look as a piece of an art, it might be just a drawing. Okay? If you come maybe here, you might not know its value. But if you take it, maybe states, they'll pay a lot of money for that. Okay? And so when I was looking at becoming journey, I say it's not a scientific journey that follows a certain pattern. No. It's an iteration process that eventually you look at it collectively, you have become something.
Yeah.
Okay? I go back to my life. Okay? The book is not about my life. It's basically the insight I've got from studying a lot of people. But you look at my life, you'll realize that there's a point I was hoping probably I could be a pilot. Okay? Because I thought in my mind that's the only way I can fulfill the objectives that I thought I have.
Yeah.
But the more we look into it, you realize, hey, I need to be in construction. I need to be a student. Okay, I didn't have to go to school after high school. Okay?
Yeah.
I had to go some few years after high school. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is an artistic that it's like when you try to paint something. In the beginning you paint, you don't see it coming, making a shape. No.
Yeah.
But after the collective painting and finishing, then it's wow, this is beautiful. But in the beginning you don't. And that's the challenge I think people face.
Yeah.
That when you don't see this painting as a complete, you think you're not living a productive life. So you stop implementing anything. Yet your decision of seeing this complete picture is based on beginning.
Yeah.
And beginning the where you are, with what you have and what you know. And so as you develop yourself in excellence, as you develop yourself in credibility, you realize that you're serving. Okay? And just to give one example in construction industry, I'll speak of the clients who now is my classmate. I thought actually, and we were discussing this, that the reason why we went to build for him, house was the outcome.
Yeah.
That was one. Actually, by the way, the biggest beneficiary tells me is our engagement that made him realize there is more in me that I think I have. But it required the frustration of construction. It requires I going beyond just being a contractor, but trying to figure out how best can we help each other beyond the call of duty. And so collectively, he has found another meaning. Okay? So that came on board because our focus was not to have some scientific, but just trying to embrace the art in the process.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So what I'm gathering is a science is more like linear. I know where I'm going to. Yes. But then when it comes to life and becoming the person you want to be and growing into your purpose, there's nothing straightforward.
No.
There are definitely curves and ups and downs. You go downhill, uphill to get to whatever it is you want to do. Yes. And I think all this would also try to push us back into, yes, I know it is not a straightforward line, but there's somewhere I want to go. How do you try to ensure that this is being achieved? I know you're always a very analytical person, and at times when you're very analytical, you tend to really say so much about situations. So what do you think about goal setting and having a vision? Yes. What's the relationship between these two things?
I'll derive this from the construction that we did. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, we ask a client, what is the outcome that you desire? Mm-hmm. Then we take that outcome to an architect. Yeah. Now the architect crafts that outcome in a vision. Mm-hmm. Then we begin analyzing this through context of cost, everything. Once we analyze that, then we began the process. Yeah. Now, to begin that particular process, you need goals to set. Mm-hmm. And for me, I embraced vision and goal setting by one, studying history. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah. And the only way to understand the vision we want to be is not to base it on things. No, but actually going deeper in your life and wondering, what exactly truly do I want? Yeah. Okay? And what is it that can make me feel fulfilled? And for me, the traditional setup of goal setting was based on things, on what, okay, and how. What do I need, and how do I execute it? Mm-hmm. But what I'm bringing clearly in the book is the perspective of why in your goal. Yes. Okay? Mm-hmm. That it's not about, okay, I want to be a doctor. I can qualify. Yeah. It's not easy. Mm. But why do I need it? Because I need money? Or because I'm really interested, okay, in serving the sick people and allowing God to use me to bring healing. Okay? Yeah. And that's where you find the frustration in face society, because it's all about what? What about why in the equation? And so, for me, I look in the goal setting that you look at it, first of all, have a vision. Because vision is a big picture. You're saying 10 years, 15 years. It's what are you able to visualize? Mm-hmm. Okay? And once you put that clear, okay, then you come and set your goals. And the goals are not based basically on, as I've said, what, but I've given it a formula called ECD. You look at experiences. What experience are you looking at? Mm-hmm. I want to do this, but what is the experience am I looking at? Because at the end of the day, you're not looking at a thing. It's what that thing does to you. And what it does to you is an experience. Mm-hmm. So what experience are you actually pursuing? Because if you don't define that, then it will just mean that you are just doing something for the sake of doing, or you are copying people from doing it. Second, how does you pursuing this particular goal contribute? Okay? Not to you, but a larger stakeholders power. Because the goal must be more about, it must go more and beyond you. It must be, it serve a larger purpose.
Yeah.
Because now that goal becomes inspiring and empowering. Okay? It's not about you, because it's easy to achieve your own goals.
Yeah.
It's very easy if it's about me, because you have a mind limitation when it's about you. But when it's about others, then it's a lot of possibilities. And finally, I'll talk of growth. Okay?
Yeah.
You can pursue a goal that you're not growing. That's an easy goal.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. It makes you feel comfortable. It doesn't challenge you. But once you set a goal that is high enough, that it allows you, by the time you're accomplishing it, you have grown, then what that means is that you actually meet the objective of your goal.
Yeah.
So for me, I totally believe, and I've argued in the book, that goal setting is artistic, because it must be anchored on your personal psychology, your personal value system. Remember, we talk about value, your personal vision.
Yeah.
Okay. And once this is clear, then you can be able to begin the journey and move towards your vision. Yes.
Wow. So the goals that you're setting actually tend to push you towards the vision that you have in life. And what I'm getting is, you might have very short-term objectives that you want to. I have very short length outcomes that I would wish to achieve, but in the end, what is my sphere of impact? Is it just me, my family, my 3 circle of friends? So what I've gotten is, when you're setting the goals, you do know there's going to be challenges, there are going to be successes, but somehow, some way, I will get there. And you have, yes.
Can you imagine people playing in a field without a goalpost? What would they be playing for? That Harambee Stars is playing against Madagascar, and there's no goals post.
Yeah. Just running around with the ball.
Exactly. And that's the difference about life, actually. The people are running around with the ball of life. Okay? Because if you don't have goal, then why are you playing? Because life is a game itself. Okay? Yeah. So you must say, okay, I want to win this particular match, because this particular match fits a certain vision of winning the whole tournament. Yeah. Okay? Because this vision is important to bring the best out of me as a player. Okay? And also it contributes, maybe if England is an economy, right? Like now we're preparing in our nation. Okay, you're preparing for Chan. So it's only significant that if I participate in the final, more fans will come in the field. Yeah. And that will actually make this particular tournament relevant. Okay, so it's important that, one, I agree, I need to win the whole tournament, but to do that, I win game 1. Yeah. So vision is the whole tournament. Once you are clear on that, you put it aside. Yeah. Then you begin, what do I need to win game 1? Okay, in the first 10 minutes, in 20, in 30, in 40, in 50, up to 90. And if 90 doesn't happen, up to 120. Okay? Yeah. And once you are clear about this, your mind is fixed in pursuing this particular goal with all your desires and with all your heart. Yeah. And for me, that's the best analogy I've come across. Yeah. That if you don't have a goal post in your life, it's just like somebody or a play in the field. Actually, even training, this is some goal. So you want to score so that you measure your strength and everything. Yeah. So if you don't have what exactly are you playing in life? So that's the challenge that you have.
Yeah, interesting. At the end of it all, there has to be a direction you're moving towards, and knowing that once I get there, this is how it should be. And you've already talked about the end goal being achieving your vision, and you've just mentioned preparation. Why do you think preparation is very important in whatever aspect?
The question people have, and this is very interesting, what am I preparing for? And to me, if I take you back to this, to the story of Rema Faith that I mentioned.
Yeah.
10 years ago, what was Reverend Julian preparing for?
Mm-hmm.
You see, you don't need an objective to prepare. You just need a vision to prepare.
Yeah.
And if you prepare for this vision, it means you're building the capacity to execute that vision.
Mm-hmm.
And to execute this vision, you need preparation phase in your life.
Yeah.
Okay? And a good example is, let's look at army. They always in preparation for a war.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't happen. But they always build the capacity for that particular time.
Yeah.
And so for me, in the journey of becoming, one thing that you must prepare for is for the outcome you need. And the outcome is always, most people, if not all of us, want to be successful. So how are you preparing yourself for that success when it comes?
Yeah.
Are you building capacity? As I've said, job construction, we are looking forward to grow internationally.
Yeah.
So by understanding that, it means how I see my employees today. I don't see them as 8 to 5 guys. I see them as subcontractors. Yeah. And so I build capacity in them to execute. Why is this important? Probably it may take me 30 years. Maybe they'll not be there that time when we're hitting international. Yeah. But the thing is this, that I'm building capacity of these people, that once I get there, life will be easy for me. Because they have learned to own responsibility. They have learned leadership in the micro level. So once we grow, then they'll be able to execute with ease. Yeah. So for me, preparation is not about specific thing, but you're preparing for the vision. So what does your vision demand? So whatever your vision demand, whatever the outcome you demand, you must begin preparing for it as early as possible.
Oh, wow. Preparation is indeed key. And that is just taking us back to the circle. I prepare, I set my goals, know I'm working towards this vision, understanding that I'm definitely going to have ups and downs.
Yes.
But then because I prepared, I know I will get there. And I believe as you look forward to becoming, Job Construction International is moving into the phase of becoming an international firm and serving various clients. There has to be an evolution. How do you look at evolvement into the person you want to become, or if it's an organization, how does it evolve through the journey?
I borrowed the concept of evolution, which is I discussed so much in the book, from the Charles Darwin theory.
Yeah.
Okay? And I looked and asked myself, okay, how do people grow? Okay? How did Walmart start? Did they start as a discounting store?
Yeah.
Okay? Exactly how did they start? And I realized there is a pattern in every successful person.
Yeah.
That they evolve from one phase to another. They had a vision, but they were flexible enough to look at what is serving them at that particular time.
Yeah.
Nvidia today is an AI chip company, but did it start like that way? No. Because the challenge with the people is that I want to be this, and you fix yourself in that. And for me, that is a very short way of looking at things. Because I believe the reason why I said goals is that we are submitting our plans to God. And then God gives you opportunities that will allow you to achieve your purpose. And so, once you realize exactly what you want to become, okay?
Yeah.
Once you begin this journey of becoming, deciding, one thing you always look is that it's not about me. See this issue of like, this is how I am. No, there's nothing there. Okay?
Yeah.
If you say this is how you am, and the challenge requires you to change. So part of evolution is a change and adaptation.
Yeah.
Okay? So how do I change? Okay? Yes, I started as this. But the market opportunity is telling me A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
So how do I evolve? What if Apple could just start and say, we are a computer company? Not go to the phone business.
Yeah.
What if they could start on what they already... But they realize, you look at your strength. So what is your strength? And what does this strength allows you to apply yourself into? And the more you apply yourself into some things, you realize the kind of things that will pay. Okay?
Yeah.
So it means you have your core, but you're growing every day. And if Charles Darwin is anyone to believe, we have grown from Homo erectus to Homo habilis. Now you're thinking Homo sapiens. Okay? And what does this mean? Did the man change?
Yeah.
There was core. Your heart is still there. That's the change. Your mind is still there. But because of the environment, okay, you live in, one day you're not wearing a dress, you're not wearing clothes, because then you are living in the bush and there's no need. But with the time you came, there's now significant of this.
Yeah.
Okay? There was a value system that now you evolved from what you knew, believed in bushmeat. Now you can create what you have.
Yeah.
Okay? So for me, I looked at the journey of evolution as a fundamental journey of becoming. Okay?
Yeah.
That is not about what I begin today and it must the end. No. It's about understanding that this is where I began. But as I realized new opportunities, as I get new purpose, and if you go back to the concept of job to be done theory, that's all about. That what else does this customer need?
Yeah.
And if we need something, then I serve that need. And by serving that need, it means I'm evolving.
Absolutely.
So yes, they had a computer that was working there in the office. But then this person needs to communicate and have this computer in the pocket.
Yeah.
Then Apple brought smartphone.
Yeah.
Then there is a partner. Now these people need to monitor their health. They need fitness. They brought their Apple Watch. Okay, so they need streaming services because now. So basically, as long as you continue to serve this need, you are driven by the need of the customer, and this the need of the customer is actually what defines your evolution. So what services are you offering today? Okay, probably today you are a journalist. But what if that particular community says, no, you need to start a podcast?
Yeah.
You don't say, no. I'm a journalist.
I only do reporting.
This is who I am. No, it's not who you are.
Yeah.
If the needs evolve, you evolve with the need.
Yeah.
And eventually look 10 years today and say, wow. So this is the journey of becoming. You not even notice it, but because you obsess continuously at looking at this need of the customer. And by serving this need of the customer, of your mission, of your vision, you realize you're evolving to be somebody great value.
Wow. I'm gathering that evolution entails needs analysis, entails adjustments, and it entails understanding your community and the community you serve for you to know this is where I want to go. This is what I was offering, but if I keep offering the same thing, I might actually not achieve my vision as I set it, which is a very interesting perspective. And it brings me to the bit about making decisions. Because as I look at this, there are those of us who can be very, very rigid in terms of, I decided I'll be making phones, don't tell me about making laptops. Why do you think the science of decision making is important for entrepreneurs and even just in the human life as a whole?
I've discussed depth of decision making in the book, and I've said this, that we live in a very rapid environment.
Yeah.
That everything is changing every day. So the question I was asking myself, how do I make a decision that aligns with all these things? And so I went deep and look at some of the people that we are having. And I've said that decision making, it is part of science. And part of this science is to understand actually what values are you having.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you have values and your why right, then it helps you to make the decision faster.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to know what the competitor. No. If your why is very clear, the vision where I'm going, why I need to do this, okay?
Yeah.
Objectives that I have. So I develop a value system that guide the decision making. Because if you don't, for example, if there's a new product in the market, okay?
Yeah.
And you want to use it, or you want to do it as a business.
Yeah.
You want to start making this thing. How do you make the decision? And I remember this story of Southwestern Airlines.
Yeah.
Whereby the CEO one day, there's a question that was brought to him by an employee. And he said that we want to introduce this menu in the airline. And the boss was like, okay, you want to introduce, okay, let's look at it.
Yeah.
Does it serve our goal? I said, okay, which goal? To make us a low-cost airline. No. We need to ensure that we are faster in terms of check-ins, okay, clearance, luggage, everything. Said no. We need to contribute in our appeal to our customer base. The employer was not sure.
Yeah.
It didn't require all MBA analysis on things. The CEO said no. We can't. Yeah. And the employee actually agreed. Because he was able to guide this employee to understand that even you don't need to bring this to me. There's a philosophy which we use to make a decision.
Yeah.
We have to check the list. And our goal is to be the affordable budget airline possible. And so if you are affordable budget airline possible, if this particular request, this outcome, does not follow these particular metrics, then we can't just make that decision.
Yeah.
However much we want to. So that's why for me, either as an individual or either as an organization, you have to develop a baseline that you can easily make a decision. I don't expect employee to consult me on everything.
Yeah.
No. Because we have defined them. What is important? Excellence is important to us. So if something comes that does not fit that, please, do you really have to consult me? No. But have I made it clear that this is our decision philosophy? If you have not made it clear to them this is our decision philosophy, guess what? They'll just wiggle about.
Yeah.
So for me, my philosophy is that develop a philosophy for making decisions, stick to it. Then once you stick to it, okay, let everybody know and understand. And every time you observe, this is what you're observing. Not the trend. This philosophy, you continue to challenge it and refine it to be better.
Yeah.
Once it becomes better, then making other decisions will become easy. But not focusing on reacting and acting on everything that's available.
Absolutely.
Now, if you do that, you lose the path. But if you have this particular, even if you fail, the chances are that you'll be happy. Yes.
Oh, great. And I'm glad that your last statement is talking about failure. And I know in the journey of becoming, as you evolve, you will make decisions that might either make you or break you. So more or less, failure is inevitable in some circumstances or in the journey of becoming. How would you advise, or what are your insights in the book about navigating and bouncing back after failure?
Wow. I've said this, that failure has a way to define people, but it's your choice to allow how it defines you.
Yeah.
And I've said this, that failure is a product of some certain set of actions. Okay? And to bounce back from the failure requires some certain framework of the mind. And for me, this has really become phenomenal. And if we look at failure, okay?
Yeah.
Most of us dread failure. Because the society has been structured not to appreciate failure. And indeed, you should avoid catastrophic failures.
Yeah.
But what if you don't manage to avoid it? Then you must understand failure for what it is.
Yeah.
Failure has a way to teach you a lesson. But before it teaches you a lesson, I have to let you know what failure it is.
Yeah.
And for that, I look at the people who have failed before and look who they are. And one person that really impresses me is Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs started a company. Then, a decade into it, he lost it.
Yeah.
He was actually chased out. And I looked at him and asked myself, how did he bounce back? Why did he not go to the adage of the people who actually started things, collapsed, and say it's fine? It's because something unique about Steve Jobs is that, you see, like if I take a ball and I throw it in the ground, it bounces back. Looking at that analogy, it means he was doing something.
Absolutely.
Something noble. That's why he failed. He was building a company. But once he failed, it actually provides you a great insight of how to come back. You see, as historians say later, he had innovation skills, but he lacked leadership skills. So once he failed, he went and analyzed, what is my gap?
Yeah.
And he went and it's my leadership skill. So when he went in that period, he didn't stop. He went and began another company. And his goal was to recruit people who will help him learn these skills that he was lacking for. Because he didn't take failure personal. The problem why failure becomes so much destructive to people is because we take failure to mean that we are not able. But sometimes failure can be because of lack of knowledge. Failure can be a lack of information. Failure can be a set of mindsets. And so, once you establish what exactly caused you to fail, when you're in that period between the time where you fail and the time when you come back, then you actually get the right context of how come back. And back to the case of Steve Jobs, we see him returning back to the app and leading to success. So how did he manage to rise, fail, and then come back? It's because, one, he had a vision. And he allowed failure not to kill his vision. He said, no, I'm down, but I'm not out. Most of us, when you set the journey of becoming, because you don't have fail, you don't have a vision, it's easier for you to fail and go. But once you really know or have the vision, okay, it's easier for you to come back. So vision is a force of attraction. That even when the ground, it attracts you that no, you are not yet done. So you work on yourself, you work on a philosophy until you get what is expected of you and come back.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Very interesting. And from what you have just narrated about the Steve Jobs story, I can see that he leveraged the situation he was in. And normally you say there are three main tools to looking about leverage. So what are these three tools in terms of ensuring that you navigate life by leveraging?
In the journey of becoming, I realized eventually, and I think leverage is among the conclusive chapter, is that anyone who has managed to create an impact in this world had three kind of tools to leverage it. You had a financial tool. In this case, sometimes often it's debt. You had a technology and you had people. Let me just expand it.
Yeah.
If you look at people, the relationship you build.
Yeah.
Okay? The people in terms of customer.
Yeah.
As long as you can be able to manage the two, okay, the relationship and the need of the customer is actually a tool of real. Why do you call Facebook a $1 billion company? It's because it's offering value to 1 billion people. And so you might lack resources as individual. But if you know how to meet the needs of 1 billion people, then you actually become a billionaire. Or if you're able to meet the value worth 1 billion, then you're able to become a billionaire. Okay? And so your goal as an individual is in this level of my life, which people can I leverage? And this informs the kind of relationship you're building. Okay? Not in a parasitic way. Okay?
Yeah.
Because if you become parasite, people will just know you're a parasite. They're not.
Yes, you
but
just
if you're genuinely interested in offering value, okay, people will actually hold your hand. And the people actually come and believe in you. Okay? And those people are the one who now you leverage on to become. I think while most people find debt as something to be afraid of, there's something about there's a book called Other People's Money by Robert Kiyosaki. And he says that the way capitalism is structured is that debt becomes better than equity in an organization. Okay?
Yeah.
Because let's give you one reason. You see, debt is actually government allows you to pay debt first. Okay? But by ensuring that your interest on debt is deductible. Why do they want the debt in the market?
Yeah.
Because they realize that the only way for this company and organization to grow is by them having debt.
Yeah.
And debt, if used properly, whether it's a real estate debt, whether it's company debt or corporate debt, debt is not your money; it's somebody else's money, and it brings the future today. And I'll use a good example. You went, or rather got help, I believe so. If you didn't, then there are those who got help in our education system.
Yeah.
Help is a debt. A debt. You might call it consumer debt, depending on what you think.
Yeah.
But how many people lives have been changed? Because he went, took help loan, studied for 6 years, become a doctor, and he paid it back. And if their parents could have chosen not take that debt and save, guess what? By the time they're able to get that money, other needs will have arisen.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Number two, by the time they get that money, this guy will be too old to have interest in education. And so the question is that how do you capitalize on the debt as a tool for leverage? Because lever, if you go to high school physics, lever is about making the work easier. So I'm using less effort to lift a heavy load.
Yeah.
And that's all about leverage is all about. That how do I, so you must identify which load do I want to lift. And so which tool is important for me.
Yeah.
There are companies like Airbnb or Uber. They're able to change the whole market by using of two things: technology, people through listing the stock, and debt. And people were saying, no, this is not worthy. Okay? Yeah. Because at one point you must agree that growth, if your growth rate might be so high, then you are built to raise resources. And if you seek to extract some resources somewhere, okay, so that you finance this growth, actually you'll be sabotaging yourself. And so the idea is, how do I intelligently use the tools that are at my disposal?
Great. Yes. I see our production team is already telling me time is far much spent. But I'm looking at this. We have talked about having a vision, setting a goal, making decisions, preparation being very important, understanding failure, and knowing that you can actually leverage failure. But in all these things, I know, just as we wind up this conversation and getting to understand what is in store for someone who's ready to read Art of Becoming, it is that there's a belief system. What exactly is a belief system, and how is it built in the first place?
Wow. Yes, I totally agree. Time is fast spent. And I know that chapter requires a lot of engagement. But I'll try to say it in a way. That in all this, what powers this laptop is not the hardware, it's the software. And for a human being, your software is what you actually believe. It's not what I tell you. No. What I tell you is only important if it's aligned with your software. And so for me, I said that at the heart of your journey of becoming, you must define what are the commands that your life responds to. Okay? Because you rise to the level of what you believe is possible. But what you believe is possible is dependent on, one, what are you hearing? Because faith comes, part of it, from hearing. What do you feed your software with? Okay? What are you reading? Okay? All this, what experiences are you leveraging on? All this builds the software that you need. And this software now then powers your life. The only reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because I have a certain set of beliefs that are different from someone else. And he might not understand, or she might not understand why I do what I do, what I do, what I have to endure, the sacrifice I need to make. But for me, it's actually comfortable because I have taken time to build this software. Now that it's powering the hardware you see. What do you see the outcome?
Absolutely.
But the input that is there, the software is there, is your belief system. And so, for me, how you build your belief system is basically by, one, mentoring. Because sometimes you need mentorship to understand, to change your perspective. And your perspective now influences the kind of actions you take. They now continue feeding that. That is what I understand and what I've discussed in depth about your belief system.
Great. This is really amazing. I know there's a lot more in terms of how the book is packaged, from understanding seasons to navigating failure to making decisions to even, you've just talked about mentorship, and I believe mentorship and role modeling somehow connected, and also how do you just pick a role model. And I know that for a reader out there, this book has very great insights. And we want to thank you for agreeing to share your journey with us, from the boy who was born in Eldoret, had to move to Kitale and go to Ndalu Primary, spent 3 days at Kibabii Boys without admission, but miraculously went through high school and decided, okay, I've cleared high school. What do I do? And you decide to venture into various jobs that you tend to do. And for those who do not like social media, Joseph has told us he made a post on Facebook, and a primary friend reached out. And the outcome of that was Jawab Construction International. So the next time you're doubting people who are posting things on Facebook and saying negative aspects about it, please remember that there are positive aspects into it, because now we can see a man who evolved into various seasons, went through mentorship, and decided, I've been dealing with engineers, I've dealt with leadership, but I think I need a finance course. And I thought, no, this is not enough. Let me now go for an MBA and see how much more intricacies can I get into this life. And now here we are. He felt, I cannot just have this knowledge alone. Why not study other people and package this into a book? The Art of Becoming. I know this is going to be available very soon. Maybe you can tell us how soon, if there are details on how soon this is going to be available. But to our listeners and those who are watching us, I just want to tell you that from the discussion we have just had, this is definitely an insightful book that you will want to go through. Joseph, when is the book coming out?
Yes, I don't know when the listener will be watching this particular segment.
Yeah.
But I believe by November we shall be having the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we shall have pre-orders. I think the link will be shared, I think, for pre-orders.
Okay.
And my final remark on the Art of Becoming.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Art of Becoming was birthed by this desire.
Mm-hmm.
The desire was, okay, I know what I know. But what is the underlying principle that will cut across all these people who have achieved the best in their life?
Yeah.
It's about the people who have gone through hell and come out, okay? And another question that also I learned as I was writing the book was, there's a book, there's so much being said about, okay, there'll be this change, there'll be that change. But ask myself one question. Can you really manage to succeed in your life and live a fulfilling life?
Yeah.
Okay? Even from the challenges you have. And I realize that it is very possible to have challenges and still making it and become it.
Yeah.
And that's why that really influenced this book. And also, why become is because in every phase of your life, there is a mission yourself. Don't wait until you hit a certain milestone to believe you're making impact.
Yeah.
And one character that is in the book that you come across that I've analyzed is Steve Hawking. This is a man who was born just right like you and me, walking. Then one point he suffered a disease.
Yeah.
And after suffering this disease, he's condemned to a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And to people who see your life is ending. Oh, your purpose is not there. But he said that as long as his mind was working, he has something to offer himself. And he went to university and began teaching. They had to develop a special kind of machines to help him communicate. Because he could not communicate verbally. Because he had this disease that was making his nervous system break down. And I looked at that man and I said to myself, if that man can create this impact, then anyone can create.
Absolutely.
Because the challenge why we don't seek to do something meaningful beyond ourselves is because we are thinking about ourselves. But if you think about more about what you offer, then you have more to offer than you think. And it is possible that you are suffering from unhealable disease, untreatable disease, and at the same time, you are making invention of black hole theories and everything. it is possible. So it's not about if. No. You can be actually, a good example of talking is about dyslexis by this guy called the guy of Virgin Atlantic, Richard Branson.
Yeah.
You see, he didn't seek that he get healed so that he can start manifesting. He said, no, wait a minute. What if this dyslexia I have, it was actually fashioned for me to change how people think about the disease.
Yeah.
And so instead of seeking healing and everything, I said, no, wait a minute. What if I can convert this problem and use it to be a solution? And by that, he went from an airline, and this particular airline became more profitable, inspired our whole generation of entrepreneurs to see that actually, if you're dyslexic, it's not the end of you. You can actually, and that's why everybody now came out, oh, wait a minute. So there's nothing wrong with me. It's not because I'm dealing with this. Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't have to deal with it 100% for me to create an impact.
Yeah.
No. It's not a mutually exclusive thing. No. So anyone who's going through a challenge, this is my call to that person and say, you need to really understand that regardless of what you're going through, it does not stop you from becoming. And becoming is not about ticking boxes. No. It's about your life serving a purpose bigger than you. It's about creating an impact that is bigger than you. And so if you find yourself as a student, ask yourself, how can I be the best?
Yeah.
If you find yourself as how do I be the best? Okay? There's no career that you can say, this particular career, I need to follow this career for me to become a person of impact. No. At the peak of every career, if you pursue it with diligence, name it. Okay?
Yeah.
You'll have your wealth that you desire. You have the influence that you desire. At the peak. It doesn't have, I don't see any career. I've tried to, because my book covers a lot of people.
Yeah.
There is artists, okay,
yeah,
who are really successful, musicians, they are business people, they are mathematicians, they are philosophers.
Yeah.
All this made me come to one conclusion. That the journey of becoming is very, very, very possible. It's not a straight line. It comes in waves. But as long as you embrace it, then becoming is a possibility. So don't say, no, I can't because of this and this. No. As long as you are committed to a journey, as long as you are serving this particular mission, becoming is inevitable. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much.